Greetings and shalom. This is Minister Daryl Conway. This is not the sermon that I said I would be forthcoming with you all to bring out the information that I said in previous sermons that I was going to bring you all. However, what this is a quick, what would you call it? Something that I noticed while I was trying to find some soothing music to go to sleep with last night. One of the commercials, the ortho commercials, it hit my attention. One of those sprays that you spray in the areas that you need to have weed protection and things like that. I'm going to include the link in this short video, but I do want you all to be aware of where we are in prophecy and how Satan has no other choice but to let us know his plans and his wishes and his desires to sift us as wheat. And I want to be known that whatever the Messiah, the Mashiach, has for my life, that's what I will go for. If he wants me to leave this place, then I will leave this place. But not before I do and tell you all the things that I have to tell you. And this is one of those things, so that the things that I've said forth in prior sermons, I want you all to go back and look at those as well. Now, let's see, the ortho YouTube commercial, like I said, I'm going to include a link with that. The information contained in this commercial is from the powers that be, okay? Be it from Rome, which is on the 7 hills, as well as Israel, Jerusalem, also on the 7 hills. And when you consider that Israel and the Dead Sea and the Sea of Galilee, all of that is the lowest place on earth. And the Dead Sea, considering the name of that, we really need to prophetically understand where that place is. And that is not true Israel, okay? Now, everything done and said in the commercial is of value and is significant, including the name of the individual, the weed tech, doing the so-called eulogy on the weed. Okay, that is supposed to be my sister used to call me Darnell. She didn't know that that meant tares or weed. I told her last month specifically that I would prefer that she not call me that any longer, because I don't want to be referred to as weed. As a matter of fact, with her calling me that allowed me to see that I had some shortcomings, and like we're all supposed to do some introspection, and when we find things that Ruach HaKodesh, or the set apart spirit, lets us know that we are supposed to come out of some things. So I appreciate her for that. All right. Also notice that when the tech is getting ready to do the eulogy, he takes a piece of paper and he balls it up. All right. And if you notice that in the sermons that I've given, even right now, I'm reading from a sheet of paper, and that's significant to the things that I do. And it's to call attention for myself to see that they're talking about what I do. And this post, and he's saying this about a weed is, and let me go further. Let's see. The Facebook style that I do on the post, like I said, and in YouTube also, like I said, I use the notes like that. And during the first few times that I viewed this video, on the screen on the YouTube commercial, it had YouTube, okay? And that was indicating that the powers that be, these are who are associated with it, they need to go and find what they're talking about, so they can go and view this commercial on YouTube that they're putting out here about this individual who is the weed, okay? But again, that's something that they're indicating that I am, and not the Messiah, the Mashiach. Okay, I said it before that if it's the Creator, Yahuwah's will for me to leave here, I have nothing to say or to do about that. But I would do what he wants me to do until that time. All right, because what they would want me to do is to fall short. Just as years ago, my wife and I were walking down this hallway, and this man tells me, he says, you're going to do great things, but don't preach. I hadn't even preached my first sermon yet. And I hadn't even found a church yet, I don't think, an assembly rather, because we're supposed to get out of those things, those words. All right, let me get back. Okay, the Ruach HaKodesh wants us to know all things. He's supposed to bring us into all truth. So what's hidden, Yahushua said, will come into light. It shall be revealed in due time. So anything that's done in the darkness, that they're considering the darkness and trying to do something esoteric or hidden, the Ruach HaKodesh, the set apart spirit, Let's bring those things forth. All right, then there's a reference later on in the commercial. It's only a few minutes or a few seconds, whatever. But he gives the young man gives a reference to going to the garden. All right, he doesn't indicate why, but I assume that he's saying to get more weeds. Obviously, right? It makes sense. Now the key, that's key because Nero, okay, he was a Roman ruler. All right. Now he persecuted believers in unthinkable and unconscionable ways, and what he did was, while he was doing these awful things, he invited spectators of these fatalities to his gardens. All right. So, in other words, what they're saying here, the powers that be, is that when these things start, they're going to have gardens so that they can look at each other and watch these things that they're going to have us go through. All right. This is prophetic, people, not just for me. This is prophetic for you. What they're saying is, what happened then, we want to happen now. Let's go to the gardens and watch the fatalities. Let's watch the weeds. They're calling, okay, first of all, we're dogs. Look how they treated us back then, the believers. They wrapped us up in animal skins and sick dog on us, and then dogs on us. Then they set us on fire and we burned like torches all night and things like that. So, Yahuwah, help us, Father. Okay, then the powers that be also want the true believer, the true Hebrew, those of us that are poor, those grafted in, the mixed multitude that no man could number. All right, they want and desire our death, our demise. All right, it's already been orchestrated. It's already been in plan for years ago. Years ago, I think I told you all on one or the other post. I was watching one of those movies by Peter Sellers, I think is his name, and I was quite shocked because I had never seen that movie before. It was in the 70s, and they had all kind of indications that it was a Illuminati type of movie. So, like I said, they're not hiding anything anymore. So everything's out there, and we get this information about what Titus did there from Tacitus in his annals. And then at the end of the commercial, the very end, you hear this old woman saying, she says, kill them all. All right. So the thing is that it's not that she's talking about weeds. It's not that a simple thing about just looking at these weeds. Okay. Now in the parable that Yahusha gives about the tares and the wheat, we are not the tares, we're the wheat. But they have things twisted, like Satan twists and turns things around. Okay. Now to them, we're the weeds and they are the wheat. All right. So please start reading the material that I put out there, and other people who are trying to follow the true Messiah. We don't have a Greek Messiah. We have a Hebrew Mashiach. All right. So please look at that information. Go back and anything that I've done to add to what everybody else has been doing. Get that information as well, because we all build upon each other. And Yahuwah's word is line upon line, precept upon precept, here little, there little. All right. And may Yahuwah be pleased with everything we say, think, and do. Let me pray. Father, I pray that your word has been acceptable in my mouth, Father, and it would accomplish the thing that you have set forth that it would do. Father, I pray that your people would listen and understand. In Yahushua's name, amen.